Hi everybody, this is Justice with Tablet Pro, and this is my first live stream, so this is going to be a little choppy here in the beginning. Was not sure that I was live here for the first couple minutes, which thankfully I think they will let me edit in the future here. Okay, so let's move to a different screen here, and we will go through a list of different things that I think people are kind of wanting to know here right off the bat. So the first thing that I have myself playing over here on the side, so I'm watching what the live stream looks like, and I can see my little baby girl. She's so cute. All right, so one of the things I think people are kind of wanting to know is how does it perform with art programs. I'm actually going to wait a little bit to get some feedback from people who are watching on which specific programs you guys are interested in, and instead I'm going to start by talking a little bit about gaming. So I started off by testing the, let's go right back over here. By testing a bunch of games that I had on Steam and Xbox Game Pass and Origin, what is that, EA, whatever the EA one is. And so I tested probably like 15 different games, and it was fun. Like for my job, that's why I played games for the weekend. My goal on Saturday, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay up till late, and I've been waking up for a different business venture I'm trying to start selling on Amazon, and so I've been waking up at like 5:15 every morning. So Saturday, Friday I ordered the Surface Pro 7 Plus, and then they said it'd come in Monday. I'm like, okay, please come in by Tuesday because I made the announcement for this live stream. And Saturday afternoon I came back from the beach, and the tablet was already there, and I was super excited. So I had a goal to stay up late. Now, I'm 42, and staying up late when I'm waking up at 5:15 is like in between staying up till like after 10. I'm like, yes, I did it. I'm not that old. And Saturday, my goal is to stay up late, and I stayed up till 3:30 gaming, and that was so cool. I haven't done that since I was younger, but it's actually really fun gaming on the 7 Plus. The 11th gen processor with the Xe graphics is a big step up from the Surface Pro 7 10th gen. So it doesn't feel quite like, hey, it can do it, but more like, okay, I'm playing a game and I can really enjoy it. Frame rates were smooth, played really consistently. There's very few hiccups and glitches in the gaming, so it felt good. Now, granted, I think that the 7 Plus that I have actually has a heating problem. When I was testing the Surface Pro 7, there was a bunch of them. I think I tested 9. Started out with an i5 and realized how good it was for gaming. I'm like, okay, I have to get the 10th gen i7 and test it in gaming, because the i5 was so much better than the 9th gen and the Surface Pro 6. So I got that and was testing it out. So I knew this time, I'm like, okay, well, I need to get the i7 version of the 7 Plus. And it's significantly better. So with the Surface Pro 7, the game's kind of like, yeah, you can do it. And there was a handful of games like Titanfall 2 or Crysis 2 or Crysis 3 that actually played fairly smoothly. And here it feels like the majority of games will play at acceptable frame rates, like 30 frames per second plus. And I like that. It actually played a bunch of games that were just completely unplayable, like Horizon 4 was completely unplayable. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, completely unplayable. On the 7 Plus, on the Tiger Lake chipset, on Shadow of the Tomb Raider is not good. But Horizon 4 is actually very playable on low settings with frame rates around 40 frames per second, 40, 50 frames a second at, I think like higher than 720p. So like 1680 by 1050, I think, is roughly half of the resolution of the Surface Pro 7 screen, 7 Plus screen. So I like that. Now I can't tell if anyone can see me or hear me at this point. So if someone can put something in the comment section, I'd like to double check that I'm not talking to the air at this point. Okay, I can hear myself on the other screen. All right, for interesting backgrounds, I know this is probably, hi Ashley, thank you, I appreciate that. So I have this set on the studio page because I'm not exactly sure how people do this, where they show other content but then they can chat. Maybe they use a different computer for it, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, good, thank you guys, I appreciate that. Thank you, Vern, thank you, Thomas. Okay, so I'm going to use the other screen and then bring up. So before I move on to something other than gaming, you guys who are here, what do you guys have questions about when it comes to gaming? Do you have anything that you are interested in me testing? Not that I can necessarily test it in this live stream, but do you guys want to see a game? I don't know how this would work, streaming and gaming at the same time. I know people do it all the time, but this is a tablet. So I think there's a delay of about 10 to 15 seconds between me talking and it getting to you guys on that side. So I'll wait just a moment, and it won't make sense where I'm pausing. By the way, something that I've been doing that I think is really cool and exciting for me, I bought the 512 model. So this is the 512 model. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it is the i7 11th Gen 1165G7 with XE graphics. I'm not sure why I'm typing this at the same time. It's kind of fun. You guys can hear my keyboard clicking. So this one, I'm using a micro SD card. Okay, cool. Thanks, Thomas. Let's do a quick divergence into games, and then we'll come back and I'll pull up Photoshop right after that. So I'm using a micro SD card. I bought a micro SD card that has 512 gigabytes of storage, which is huge. It takes this to a 1 terabyte version with some slower storage, and you can game from a micro SD card without a drop in frame rates. The loading is a little slower, but the actual gameplay is consistent whether or not you're on there. There may be certain circumstances where gaming from a micro SD card does affect frames per second, but my little bit of experience, well, not little bit of experience, my experience in like 10-15 games is that it actually works really well. And some games will not. Like if you're installing from the Microsoft Store, I could not get Gears of War 5, which is a 100 gigabyte plus download, or Halo Master Chief Collection, which is like 160 gigabytes. Could not get that to install on the micro SD card. There might be a way to do it, but I wasn't able to get it set up on this. All right, so let's take a quick peek at some games. Oh, I want to show you guys a game that I think is really cool. And Genshin Impact. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's kind of like, kind of is like extremely like Zelda Breath of the Wild. Alright, we're seeing if this is going to work. It's possible that it may not capture the game stream. looks like it's working. And this is cool. Okay, I'm using a game controller, and I put a little black tape over the top. Oh, this is going to be interesting. How do I do this? So I was having internet problems. Oh, yay. Alright, we will do this another time. Sorry, Genshin Impact. Alright, for those of you who haven't seen that, that is like Breath of the Wild. It's really cool, actually plays really nicely. Alright, let's do another game. And my goal is to take maybe 5-10 minutes here doing gaming. Okay, so let's see. Gears 5. Thomas and anyone out there who has questions about different programs, what exactly in Photoshop would you like to see? So put that, or whatever it is you want to see inside of other programs, put that in the comment section so I can read that while this stream is going on, and I can prepare as we're doing the gaming section so you guys can get the information that you're looking for out of this. Alright, that is really cool. Okay, cool. The Bluetooth pen or the one without Bluetooth? Alright, Thomas, are you looking, are you wanting to see like a drawing test, like actually doing some artwork, or or doing a test on the screen? By the way, the new computer, okay, cool. Have you tested it yet on your computer, or are you just wanting to see it kind of being used in different programs? Traveling right now. Oh, okay, got it, got it. All right. Gears of War. Um, Gears of War I've been playing since. Oh, okay, I see. So the new pen is at your home and you're not there yet and excited to try it out. Okay, the Gears of War trilogy. The Gears of War series is one I've been playing since the beginning, and I used to play this with friends. We would do big LAN parties and all bring our Xboxes and play. And we played this quite a bit. Gears of War 2 we played quite a bit. Gears of 4 um, I played with my daughter when she was like 5 or so. We played through most of the game on Gears of War 4, and there's some scary spots where she would like run out of the room. I'm not exactly sure how appropriate that is, but I have this thinking that if you guys have seen Terminator and Sarah Connor has this thought that she's got to prepare her son. I have that feeling with my oldest daughter, like I have to prepare her. So we do these different activities to make her stronger and braver. And playing Gears of War 4 was one of those things that we did. And she's actually pretty good at that now. Gears of War 5, we played through part of that together. But funny that Gears of War brings up a lot of fun family memories with my young daughter. Probably not the standard response. Alright, Gears 5 is taking a long time to launch. I may have said this already. Gears of War 5 is not is installed on the hard drive here. It's not installed on the micro SD card. But Gears, for whatever reason, tends to be a bit slow loading in every situation. Alright, let's try one more game here. Ori Will of the Wisps, also absolutely love that one. Beautiful game. If you haven't played it yet, any of the Ori games are amazing. Right now I'm doing this on the Surface Pro 7 Plus. Alright, so that's not working. So this is, let me show you the system information. So here you can see 7 Plus right here. And let's see, 7. What? So cool. Alright. Okay, let's try Halo 4. This one I think should load up pretty quickly. I thought about doing this on my Surface Pro 7 so that I could hold up my tablet. You know, like I could go like, all right, so here's the Surface Pro 7 Plus, and you know, here's the back of it where it's got, you know, the removable storage drive in there, and I thought no, because when we start doing the other tests later, I wasn't sure if I would be able to switch from machine to machine, and then I'd be showing you what it's like to draw on the Surface Pro 7, not the 7 Plus. So this is all being demonstrated on the Surface Pro 7 Plus. Halo 2, Gears of War 2 and Halo 2 were my jam when I was a kid. Alright, loading nice and fast. I'll show you guys what these settings are set at. The program I'm using to magnify the screen is Touch Zoom Desktop. and you can set it to do a 3-finger pinch to a little bounding box window like what I just showed you, or you can have it pinch the entire screen. I actually have not set that up correctly yet. Okay, so this is full screen 1680 by 1050, which is usually what I recommend for resolution. And then these are the settings here. All quality set to high, and the graphics quality is enhanced, although it will say custom because I have it slightly higher. It's interesting that the stream is showing it not in full screen. So on the Surface Pro 7, this is playing in full screen. Touch, zoom, desktop. I can't write that in there yet.
Chief, try the top of the ramp. I think there's a lift up there.
And you guys can't see the frames per second. Oh, that's weird. Okay, frames per second right now are 33 to 50. Right now it's at 55 frames per second. Oh, and this is a CGI scene. Skip. Basically, I want to get you guys to a spot where you can see actual gameplay on the machine. And this is gaming. This is gaming while it's streaming and pulling video from browser on the phone.
Some sort of advanced defense AIs. Related to Sentinels, I'm guessing, but it's hard to say without a closer look. Come on, let's figure out where that transit system dumped us.
Yeah.
Where's Infant?
Sorry, I like Cortana, but we're moving ahead.
This is his first pylon.
Negative. This is as close as I can get us. Hope you don't mind hoofing it a little.
Alright, here we go. So we should be into an actual open world.
Contacts!
So again, this is so I have a couple Xboxes. I have an Xbox One X and a regular Xbox. And most of the time, if I'm gaming, I would rather play on one of those. Just obviously for a bunch of different reasons. But this is the first time I've had a Surface Pro, and granted, this is glitching out right now while I'm saying this, but it's the first time I've had a Surface Pro that was good enough where I would totally fine playing on this, and it's just as fun, minus my controller's having problems.
Those were the same things we saw on terminals.
Similar portable footprint as the tower has. They're connected all right.
Yeah, so this is... Oh. same thing happened in high school.
Well, he's just a ray of sunshine, isn't he? From that peek under the hood, I'd say these constructs must be mimetic in nature.
Glad I didn't scream like a girl right there.
Similar phasing activity at the edge of our sensors. We're about to get busy.
Alright, I'm pretty sure I'm about ready to die here. Oh, controller's having problems again. Ooh, it might be a Bluetooth issue. Okay, I think that's good enough. That was fun though. Okay. I have a program called Share Mouse running, and so the mouse moved to the other computer and wasn't coming back. I had these set up differently. Okay, so let's go into Photoshop, and we'll do some demonstrations, some checks there. Okay, so Photoshop, I'm going to launch this up. Here I have a couple different styluses. So this one is the Duo. This one is not Bluetooth. This one actually will switch. You can see if I turn this on, the light it'll be blue. This one will switch between iPad and Surface. So this is Microsoft Pen Protocol 1.5, I believe, or 2.0. But it's 1024 levels of pressure, and does not have tilt, I think. Let's see real quick. Yeah, no tilt. Okay, so this one is the Duo, works on iPad as well as Surface. It's pretty cool. This one is the one that you just got, Thomas. This one is the Bluetooth one, the Blue Walker, which is limited printing. So the rest of them in the future will just say Renacer, like this one. Okay, so the Blue Walker stylus is the one I'm going to be demonstrating with. I also have the regular stylus. This one is the R520. This one's the Ice Blue. So actually my preference, if I don't need the Bluetooth, then this is my preference over everything else. And then I have two Surface styluses, a silver and a black. This is just the Surface Pen. And this is the newer one because it has the magnets and the single button on the side and the Bluetooth eraser. Alright, so let's jump into Photoshop. And we'll put these other ones to the side. Create new. Now on this, I have the resolution set to 10,000 by 10,000, and resolution, or the DPI, is set at 300. Keep in mind the purpose of this is to demonstrate lag in the first one, and so let me see if I can talk to the rationale here, because I think that this this is a little bit tricky for people to understand. So if you set this to 11 by 8.5 inches, which is roughly 3000 by 2000 pixel canvas, and then you use a standard size brush, you shouldn't see any lag on anything with a decent processor from the last 4 or 5 years if your brush is simple. If you've got a really complex dual tip brush that's doing color blending and scattering at the same time, and you're also smoothing the line, then yes, you'll see some lag. But for these nicer machines, if you're testing in something and everything is lag free, how do you know if something is better? Which is why I do this specific test. 10,000 by 10,000 pixel canvas, and you're doing a 5,000 pixel brush. Hardness is set at 70%. Let's go ahead and bring this all the way up. And then you're going to see, after I turn the stylus on, you're going to see, and go from top over to the bottom. So you can see that there's lag on this. There's supposed to be lag. That's the point. And then we test to see how fast it is compared to another system. Now there is a couple caveats to this test. Smoothing I have set at 10%. It should actually be set to 0. All right, let's change the color here. Okay, all right, smoothing is set to 0. Now, will streaming affect the performance here? Yeah, almost definitely. Almost definitely. So I will have to redo this test with something, capturing just from the phone camera, so you guys can really see how fast it is. Now, when I tested the Surface Pro 7, oh yeah, Serenity. Alright, when I tested with the Surface Pro 7 against the Surface Book 2, the Surface Pro 7 itself was much faster than the Surface Book 2 doing the same test. So there might be some issues with this test that need to be sorted out conceptually. I've explained to you the thinking on it. Serenity, update to the latest version of the pen tool. I had that same bug on my system. We added a new feature. And let me show you what that is. Okay, pen tool. Here we added this ignore applications tab. We had this set up differently in the past. When we added this in here, we introduced a bug, and that kept it from switching correctly. Version of the pen tool is now 3.0.3. So that will allow you to switch automatically the presets. She's talking about the artist pad over here on the left. Okay, now we also, in version 3.0.1, we made it so that this window will, when it's open, it'll keep everything from switching, because we were losing settings. Switching mid, it doesn't matter. You have to close this window for switching to take place now. Alright, let's go ahead and remove all this, and let's bring the brush size way down so we can do some other tests here. So I like this around 20 pixels. Let's go ahead and just type in 20 pixels, and I keep the hardness at about 70%. So we're going to zoom in. You can see down here the percent that we're zoomed in. We're going to zoom in to 200%. When you're dealing with jitter, one of the more important things to keep in mind is that zoom makes a really big difference on how much jitter you're getting. Okay, so let's do just a couple of standard lines here. Going fast versus slow will make a difference. Now, actually, for this test, I really would like to turn it up to 10% smoothing, because that's where I keep it naturally, but I'm not going to. All right, here's the Surface Pro Surface Pen, and this one has the harder nib on it, the 2H. So here, and I'm trying to do these the same way. Some fast. Actually, let's go back and let's do this a different color. fast ones are almost always better. Okay, and then let's do this one here. This is the black stylus. Let's change the color again. This one is using the standard pen nib. And where you draw on the screen can also affect how much jitter there is too. So when I'm testing, I try and do basically in the same spot and adjusting things that way. All right, standard. When I was getting the 7 Plus, really what I wanted to see is whether or not everything would work the same. And you would think, okay, well, yeah, I should, oops, this is the same color. Everything should work the same. But from the Surface Pro 6 to the Surface Pro 7, there was a lot of problems with the pen. Everything changed. A lot of things changed and a lot of programs broke. Okay, so we have tested all of these except for the Duo. This is the older type. This one doesn't have tilt support. Interestingly enough, let's change the color one more time. Interestingly enough, without that tilt data, in some programs the line quality improves. Other programs, it gets worse. Okay, so here you can see, let's go, this is R520BT silver surface. Black surface. Is this correct? What all did I test here? This is the ice blue R520, and this is the Duo. I think that's right. Okay, anyway, you can see the lines are all pretty close to the same. I think these ones have a little better line quality typically. That's just that kind of wiggle in there. All right, Mark. Mark, the Surface Pro X incompatibility issue is still not sorted. So I've talked with Microsoft directly a handful of times, and with the holiday break, they all go for a couple weeks, and we're not able to do anything. But I will reach out again and check. They have an open support case with us right now on the Pro X. Yeah, right now we're not sure exactly what it is that keeps it from working, because the pen aspect should read correctly, but the problem is it won't load from the Windows Store on the Pro X for some reason or another. I'm assuming it has something to do with the ARM processor inside, but somehow the Windows Store app UWP format changes it so it doesn't work, where it does work in our test versions. And I no longer have a Pro X, so it's a little harder for me to test that. However, Mark, if you are interested in testing some things for us, send me an email. I believe we've talked already about this, but send me an email and I'll see if there's some way we can figure something out. At least in the form of you're trying to download it from the Microsoft Store and testing to see if it does or doesn't work when we make certain changes. Alright, so the heat issue, let me show you guys this. Well, first thing, the problems I had with the Pro 7 Plus when it came out is hotter, and I thought it should be cooler based off of a number of different things that I read and watched online. So I have here, this is a General brand. I think the brand is called General, which is really funny to me. Non-specific brand called General. This is a heat gun, and it's not great. I made an atmospheric water generator in my garage, and I use this to check the temperature, and it is often very off. Okay, either way, so this one, I'm testing the Surface Pro 7, and this is showing 85, 86 degrees, which, who cares, all this doing is running a video on YouTube. Okay, over here, checking the Surface Pro 7 Plus, upper right corner, by the way, is the hottest section. And let's see if you guys can see this. That's 106 degrees, which is apparently backwards there on the screen. Okay, so, and over 112 degrees when I was doing some other stuff. I don't think I've even tested it while gaming. If I feel it with my hands, is 106 degrees too hot or uncomfortable to hold? No, it is not. Is it warm? Yeah. Hot? No. Do I think it should be cooler? Yeah, this one might have a problem. So I will need to do some more tests and see if there's any performance degradation when it gets hotter. All right. Okay, comment here from Mark. Thanks, dude. I'm loving Tablet Pro, and the 520BT is the absolute nuts. I'll wait patiently for MS to sort out their stuff out. LOL, will gladly test. I'll pop you an email. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Yeah, for those of you who, gosh, if you watch this channel, you hear me talk about this stylus in almost every single video. I have literally about 25 different styluses, and I still order new ones that I haven't tested before from Amazon in order to just make sure, am I selling the very best one? And at some point I may not, but it's really a great stylus and much cheaper. So those of you who haven't seen it or checked it, watch the video that I have on the R520 or R520 Bluetooth model. All right, for other problems, the sound was crackling, and so like you get a system sound, and it would sound like the system sound was made out of crystals, and it was popping and crackling, and it sounded terrible. Not like a little bit off, like lower quality, like it was definitely 100% broken. And I was pretty sure that it was driver issue or settings issue or something like that. Not that that should happen, but yeah, it was pretty bad. What ended up fixing that, I did a little bit of research here. Let's go open to sound settings and manage sound devices. I'm not sure if this is it. Speakers. Okay, I'm using Droid Cam. By the way, I'm using Droid Cam on my phone to stream wirelessly to OBS Studio, and I've been doing this lately, and I have a green screen right behind me in my bed, which is always an interesting conversation piece. But the speakers from here, or from the microphone here, actually works quite well. So let's see, sound control. Sounds. Properties. I'm in the wrong spot to be doing this, but we'll get there. Spatial sound format. Actually, this was what I changed to fix it, so I don't know why it's set back to off, but I adjusted that setting. I also updated the Intel 11th gen processor. Spatial sound is super cool on this, and I think other places. All right, closing here, and yeah, it was causing all sorts of problems with the sound. So then adjusting that setting, open sound settings. adjusting that, for some reason that fixed it. So the two things I updated driver-wise in the beginning was the Intel XE graphics driver, which you just go Intel drivers and support assistant. Here you can download a little program. It's got this icon and it sits over here in the toolbar like this, and it'll check your system to see if anything needs to be updated. It suggested I update the driver for the 11th gen chipset, XE graphics, as well as the Bluetooth. Had nothing to do with sound. Maybe that had something to do with it, I'm not sure. Alright, other questions? What do you guys want to know? Everything should work on the Surface Book 3. Yes, everything does work on the Surface Book 3. That is correct. That was September. We were able to get a new DLL created by Microsoft for us, which was absolutely amazing support from them. It took a while, but we were able to get a DLL created for them that supports the Surface Pro 7 and Surface Book 3. I do think it fixes things on the Surface Pro X. There's something different in the way that they handle the pen that was causing compatibility issues. It just would spam just a tremendous amount of unusable data, and so we were able to get that figured out. So those devices work now, except for the Pro X won't load the program because of something in the Windows Store UWP format. Changes something or another. Alright, let me run through a couple of drawing apps real quickly. Oh, I want to show you guys something cool. Some of you will probably have seen this since yesterday, because I posted on this yesterday. Alright, so we're going to open this up, and I'm going to press a keyboard shortcut and make Photoshop transparent. So here, fully usable still. This is creepy. Just very creepy. But anyway, keyboard shortcut Windows Shift / is going to adjust the opacity of the windows if you guys have the pen tool installed. Really cool if you guys are using a note-taking app like Onenote. That's the video I did yesterday, was about that. It's a cool trick, right? It's super cool. So you need the pen tool installed for that to work. We created that in order to, was like I know like swear words in coding in programming languages, the equivalent of swear words. Like I know like very little bit of programming language. So this was my one contribution, is I found this code and implemented it. And so I'm kind of proud of my slight contribution. Okay, so the pen tool, here you can see the keyboard shortcuts that work inside of it. So let me just show those to you. So Alt-C is going to color pick. Oh, I think we need to close this window again for these to work. Keyboard shortcuts. this is the keyboard shortcuts inside of inside of the pen tool. Something in the stream is causing everything to lock up, everything froze, and so we have all of my spazzy clicking has done this to all of us. Okay, here, let's see. All the clicks are catching up. Okay. Okay, who cares? I will just tell them to you. Alt plus X is going to pick the location off the screen. So you can see I'm moving around here. It's copying the coordinates. Okay, if you're a designer, you're an artist, who cares? No one cares. Okay, but if you're using the artist pad over here, that's going to be really important. Now, color is a different thing. So here, Alt plus C is going to let you grab the exact color. And then if you go here into color, RGB sliders, let's go ahead and open this up and make this bigger. Oh, not RGB. And normally, this is a new computer. Normally it shows me the hex color here, and I can add it in here. Website is tabletpro.com. Tabletpro.com. Alright, so the hex color is really what we're looking at. And I'm not sure why this is not showing, but oh well. So I'm sure if you know what you're doing, then yes, this copies the color here of whatever it is, and then you can use that color in other places. That, and then the keyboard shortcut Win Shift / does transparency. That's where I was going with all of that. Alright, I think that pretty much wraps it up for me. Do you guys want to see anything else on this live stream? Alright, there's the website. How it works, so it takes the active window and makes it transparent, and then there's 3 levels of transparent. This is completely transparent. So theoretically, well, for a moment there, I was still touching the transparent screen. Let's go back over here to the live stream, and then I need to go here, and so this should be the live stream. So the live stream should be transparent. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Oops, I keep pressing the wrong keys. Okay, all right. So that will make it transparent, and it only makes it transparent while it's open. If you close it and open it again, like if you had, oh, I forgot what that keyboard shortcut was. When you open it back up, it will not be transparent. It'll be the regular parency. That's funny to me. All right. What other questions do you guys have for the Surface Pro 7 Plus or Tablet Pro while I'm here? Alright, I'll leave about 10 more seconds if there's any other questions. Okay, how can you scroll the window in the background while working on OneNote, for instance? Okay. Alright, so let's show that. That's a very good question. Let's go ahead and close Photoshop. Thank you, Photoshop. By the way, I've been using Clip Studio Paint lately and really like that. Still really like Paint Tool Sci version 2, but OneNote. And I need to switch to the new version here. Trans. Okay. Alright, so here we are. We're inside OneNote, and I have a trackpad on the artist pad. So you can see I'm trackpadding around. By the way, over here, I'm trying to create some fonts, handwritten style fonts that fit inside the rule lines of OneNote, so that when we're going back and forth between handwriting and text, it just blends and looks better. I don't know how to do it yet, though. Okay, so let's say we want to do that transparency thing. So we have something in the background. All right, we have our YouTube video. And by the way, I'm going to recommend something if you guys are doing this. So here, in order to keep this from switching, just pop open the tool panel. Very windy here. So basically you would go into the pen tool, let's drag this down here, and lock the settings. Just hit the lock icon so this is not switching back and forth when you're going back and forth. Okay, yeah, here we go, thank you. Let's switch this back to transparent, and then we're going to click lock. Close it. Alright, now when we're going back and forth, it's not going to adjust things. Okay, so now we have, this is transparent, and we have this in the background. Now I'm going to actually go and shrink this a little bit so that just the scroll bar over here is accessible. So here on this page, I'm scrolling chat. So here I'm scrolling chat, and then if I want to select, let's go in draw mode. If I want to select a different colored pencil and then scroll the chat wheel, oh, I need to go over here. I need to move that back and forth over there. So okay, so this is a little problematic. It looks like in the future what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to make a scroll from location button so that it'll always scroll here, and if you click over here that's not going to make any difference, but basically that would allow you to easily scroll the background, take notes on the screen, and do those things back and forth really nicely. Alright. Getting your 520 in the next few days, so very excited to try all this out. Sad I ordered it just before the Bluetooth version came out, though. Yeah, Leo, are you an artist? Leo, if you send me a an email, I will sell you the Bluetooth one at half price just because you just bought the other one. So I think that'll end up being at cost for me, but I'll just make sure you get both, and it won't cost either of us anything. But that way you have two styluses. So that's only for Leo. All right, for other questions, what other questions do you guys have? I think that's cool. We need the other feature. Hmm? Thanks, Leo. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think there's not too many people who are actively pursuing making the tablet experience better, and I love it. It's kind of my thing. So it's nice to find a niche that you fit into well, and that needs someone focused in it. So I appreciate that. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'll wait 10 seconds for any additional questions. If you have any, just go ahead and write them in. I don't mind going longer at all, just don't want to dawdle if I have answered your questions so far. If you guys are watching this stream right now, please like it. That'll help YouTube's algorithm push it up. I don't imagine this being like an extremely watched video, but that liking the video will definitely help. All right, thanks, Leo. Thank you, everybody. Really glad that you all made it. All right, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.